We are rolling large, man. Frankie and I are freestyling, and we're looking for a place to rock up on.
Well, that looks like a good sign. Pavement ends. Ready?
Wow. Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz led us on a journey through America's forgotten gems, drawing on their mutual appreciation for filmic moments and aging artifacts. Their relationship, however, was not without of challenges or hidden truths. Wolfe has given fans a better glimpse into the wonderful and heartbreaking friendship they had via anecdotes and feelings expressed after Frank's demise. Which facts can only be revealed now, and which memories and lessons does Wolfe hold dear? Come explore with us the intricate web of relationships that grew between them as their love for picking blossomed into a legacy treasured by many others. In the middle of Little Davenport, Iowa, two boys formed an unusual bond that would become one of the most adored pairings in television history. Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz were lifelong friends and fellow pickers who had a common passion for antiques and a mission to preserve American history via the preservation of individual pieces. Prior to the emergence of television, they had already formed a strong friendship while searching for long-lost artifacts in barns, abandoned homes, and neglected outbuildings. The irrefutable connection between hosts Mike and Frank, who captivated millions of viewers, was the true magic of American pickers, not the items they found. The boys seemed to be living the ideal, finding meaning in things that the average person would overlook. Anyone may be enticed into opening their doors to Mike because he was that daring, inquisitive man. In contrast, Frank was realistic and added a grounded, everyday person to the partnership. Their followers quickly came to see them as family because to their playful and competitive banter. Mike and Frank's adventure turned out to be more than just a quest for wealth as their fame grew. They were preserving artifacts from America's history, while also communicating something far more profound. The tales that accompanied the things were as essential as the objects themselves. American Pickers has evolved into a cultural phenomenon, shifting the focus from the finds themselves to the people and stories behind them. They were more than simply hosts to their fans. They embodied a spirit of adventure and nostalgia that extended far beyond the confines of television. However, Mike and Frank's chemistry changed during the course of the episode. Faster speed and larger demands came with celebrity, and maybe unavoidably with them, underlying tensions. Particularly when the program expanded beyond its origins, Frank's more conservative inclination and Mike's innate capacity to dream large would sometimes conflict. They didn't always agree on everything, but their unique personalities were a big part of American Pickers' popularity. Their collaboration was driven by unwavering love and loyalty, however. Not only was it a story of celebrity, but also of friendship, danger, and an unusual kind of chemistry that could only be created by being together for decades. They worked together to transform a strange hobby into a cultural phenomenon, prompting admirers to reevaluate the history all around them. It was always just two men doing what they loved on American Pickers, even when it became something of an empire. More than anything else, Mike and Frank's appearance on the program will be remembered for the artifacts they discovered. It will be remembered as a tribute to the enduring influence of friendship, ambition, and maybe even the price of fame. What really mattered to them was the path they traveled together, not the riches they unearthed. Now that Frank is no longer a part of the tale, viewers are curious about how Mike will go on without him, and whether or not secrets from their past will be revealed. How they fell out, the untold story. Although Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz's relationship seemed impregnable at one point, it eventually went through a rough patch. As their reputation grew, so did the animosity between them. But they surfed the success wave together for years. Once amicable contrasts, their differences started to reveal cracks, and the chemistry that fans had grown to enjoy started to seem pressured. There were unsaid words and unresolved emotions hiding under every on-screen conversation and chuckle, and audiences could sense it. The decline of Frank's mental and physical health marked a turning point in his life. As far as the outside world was concerned, he was just a sociable picker, but on the inside he was struggling with addiction and terrible back pain. Observing Frank's downward fall might be excruciating for Mike, a boyhood pal. It seemed like Frank's departure from American Pickers in 2021 was sudden, but it was really the result of years of tense encounters and difficult choices that neither man could have predicted when they started working together. Mike expressed his sadness about Frank's leaving in a public statement, alluding to something more profound. Media and fan speculation swirled around issues of control over the creative process, finances, and animosity between the two lifelong friends. However, Mike's words hinted at something more fundamental. A feud motivated not by the ostentatiousness of wealth and celebrity, but by genuine worry for Frank's welfare. The profound, unwavering concern that had earlier served as its bedrock, however, persisted underneath the surface variations. A tragic chasm had opened up in Frank's acceptance of the aid offered to him as a result of his addiction. Mike, who has always been and continues to be the more realistic of the two, is doing everything in his ability to reach out to his buddy. Love and devotion can't always alleviate another person's suffering, however, and that became very clear at that very moment. Leaving the program was more than simply a vacation from television for Frank. It was a deeply emotional quest during which he confronted his own demons. The tone of American Pickers has shifted somewhat without Frank. The admirers took note. Numerous people contacted Mike personally in the hopes that he might reunite Frank and himself, just as in the good old days when they seemed inseparable. At the same time, Mike was secretly dealing with some private emotional issues. The broken bond he had been burdened with was a reminder that no matter how hard we try, the people we care about might sometimes stray. There is no denying the impact that Mike and Frank's separation had on their lives. For Frank, it was an opportunity to take stock of his health, while for Mike, it meant forging forth alone while carrying the burden of a friendship that had been strained to its breaking point. Had fame stolen something away from them that could never be completely regained? Or could they find a way to return to that comfortable camaraderie? Frank Fritz was engaged in an entirely other struggle off-screen, one that was concealed from the public and even his closest allies, while American Pickers embodied the excitement of the quest. Addiction developed gradually as a result of heavy reliance on opioids after a severe back injury. He found it more and harder to confront his deeper emotional issues on his own, after what had begun as a desire to control physical discomfort. Like other addictions, Frank's was not an uphill struggle. As their anxiety grew, Wolfe and his pals helped out whenever they could, but addiction is a strong adversary. Despite the strong bond of friendship they had, Frank often faced his demons alone. Mike started to notice the symptoms since he had known Frank for so long. A connection that had been as natural as breathing now seemed burdened by unsaid fears, awkward silences, and a lack of words. Mike found it not just difficult but painful to see his friends suffering. He subsequently said that he had attempted some interventions and extended a hand of friendship in an effort to get assistance, but that the procedure had been very tedious. Frank was waging an internal battle against his addiction, one that would need the self-sacrifice of time, patience, and dedication that he had not yet come to terms with. Moments of optimism about his recovery quickly turned into harsh realities, and Mike, along with most of his loved ones, was at a loss as to how further to assist him. Everything about Frank's public battle with his health problems, including his decision to attend rehab, has been well recorded. Recovery is never easy, but the show's viewers became aware of his struggle and sent him numerous letters of support. Wolfe hinted that Frank's struggles were more profound than anybody realized, adding another tragic element to their narrative. Their once strong link was now overwhelmed by an overwhelming sense of dread, the dread that Frank's actions may further alienate him from the life he had once cherished. The effects of Frank's addiction were felt in both his private life and his public image. His connection with Mike would be irrevocably altered by the weight of his problems as he fought to reclaim control. Mike never stopped trying to be there for Frank, but it was clear that he was struggling with his own issues emotionally. With the demands of his personal life and his successful program, how can he be there for his buddy at the same time? In Frank's absence, Mike has only memories of their relationship to hold on to, along with maybe some unsolved mysteries. He has shared his heartbreaking revelation that we can't always save the people we care about, as well as his efforts to aid his buddy and the extent to which he loved them. While Frank reflects on their shared past, fans are left wondering, what secrets did Frank take with him? And how will Mike continue the legacy of their troubled but profound friendship? A reunion with mixed emotions. Just when tensions were starting to subside after years apart, Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz were able to reconnect, reigniting the bond they had shared for so long. Both men looked to be in need of some time to contemplate and heal when the opportunity for reconciliation presented itself. After seeing his buddy fight health and addiction issues, Wolfe felt a mix of relief and sadness upon seeing Frank again. Amid all the suffering, it was a miracle that they were finally able to communicate after years of quiet. There was a deep feeling of finality for Wolfe, but there was also an anguish. All the years they had spent apart, the unspoken things, now they burdened him. Their laughing and comfortable banter were still there when they eventually talked, as if no time had gone at all. They were talking about how precious life is, but they also knew that it can be easily taken away. In retrospect, Wolfe would be relieved that they had reunited, but he would also feel sadness for the time they had lost and would never get back. It was an opportunity to be open and honest, to recognize the relationship that had been challenged and healed during the years. Mike Wolfe said that looking back on his times with Frank gave him a fresh perspective on his buddy. Everything from their eccentricities to their hilarious antics that could liven up even the most dreary day to the special connection they had with their followers flooded back. Wolfe's heart ached with the realization that he had seen Frank's happiest years, but he had also been there at his worst, which he could only now really understand. Wolfe opened up to Frank in a sensitive and honest manner as they reunited, revealing recollections that were both personal and public. Because of Frank's sickness and hardships, Wolfe realized how important it was to communicate love and care via those unseen words before it was too late. As Wolfe gained a better grasp of the significance of their friendship, a bond formed by shared experiences of adventure, hardship, and success, their discussions progressed to more profound topics. Their joint work was really remarkable. Their followers will always remember them and their legacy. They shared laughter and memories, but they also knew in their hearts that time was running out. Wolfe said afterwards that he was really grateful to have made amends with Frank before he passed away, but that he still couldn't get rid of the what if. What if they could have fixed things faster? Is it possible he should have tried again? The depth of his affection for his buddy was highlighted by these sentiments, albeit they were bittersweet. The fact that they were able to reunite was like a little but meaningful token of appreciation for the unbreakable tie that had shaped Wolfe's life. Wolfe and Frank's reunion proved, in the end, that genuine friendship can withstand long periods of separation and resume exactly where it left off with only one conversation. As a whole, it serves as a poignant reminder to value genuine friendships, mend fences before they get wider, and express our deepest gratitude to people we care about. An ending farewell. Following Frank Fritz's passing, Mike Wolfe delivered a public goodbye that was as moving as it was tragic. Wolfe felt a deep sense of loss for his traveling companion, but this memorial was more than just adieu. They captured the spirit of their co-created trip and how Frank's impact was felt by those who shared their story, and Wolfe's words undoubtedly touched the hearts of his admirers. In his eulogy, Wolfe recalled an aspect of Frank that few could confirm: the wit, the irritability, and the strength that had gotten them through dusty barns and miles of nameless roadway. Whether they are real or figurative, he talked of Frank's unique personality and his dogged determination to uncover these hidden gems. Wolfe movingly shared the wisdom he had gained from Frank, which extended beyond the realm of antiques and touched upon themes of life, loyalty, and the inherent value of flaws. As Wolfe reflected about Frank's humor, his extraordinary ability to uncover stories in seemingly minor objects, and his unwavering devotion to the path they had trodden together, his voice quivered. The goodbye wasn't the focus of Wolfe's homage. Rather, it was the life lived, even if it wasn't always easy. Instead of remembering Frank for his struggles, he hoped that people would remember the happiness he had given to the program and to the people whose lives he had touched. Wolfe depicted a guy who faced adversity head-on, who welcomed life's imperfections, and who, as a result, had an everlasting impression on the sport of selecting. Wolfe felt that the act of parting ways could not be fully captured by a mere string of words. As Wolfe worked through the complicated feelings of losing someone who had played such a significant role in his life, the eulogy served as a window into his grieving journey. He gave full expression to the feeling of loss that accompanies confronting mortality, the impermanence of life, and the influence we have on those around us. In light of Frank's passing, Wolfe conveyed his profound appreciation for the time they had spent together and recommitted himself to accurately portraying their shared history. Listening to Wolfe, many were moved by the profound degree of vulnerability she displayed. Nothing was kept back as he expressed the intense and unfiltered feelings that engulfed him after Frank's death. Regret, forgiveness, and love that transcends words were themes he touched on. What we build together is worth much more than whatever wealth we may amass, as Wolfe's homage so poignantly demonstrated. Though he was flawed like everyone else, Frank's eulogy blessed the world with memories of a guy who lived life to the fullest, full of passion, humor, and honesty. In his last farewell, Wolfe expressed his desire to continue searching, picking up and discovering as much as they had over the years, in the same way that he had said goodbye to his buddy. The touching homage gave viewers the impression that Frank's memory would endure, not only in Wolfe's heart, but in the hearts of all others who could identify with the camaraderie that endeared two humble pickers to millions. As Wolfe departed, his last words lingered, a heartfelt tribute to the man who had been at his side through good times and bad, a poignant reminder that genuine friendship is eternal, taking on a life of its own. What Mike would like his fans to keep in mind. Mike Wolfe's admirers have seen the depth of his love and respect for Frank Fritz, which goes beyond their shared appreciation of vintage items and road trips since Frank Fritz's death. The adventure Wolfe had with Frank is more than just a storyline in American Pickers. It's a legacy that he intends to uphold with each new episode, selection, and memory. Frank was more than a business associate. He was one of the family. Like every family, they had their share of problems, but the strength of their relationship helped them overcome them. With new eyes, Wolfe considers his friend's life and the teachings he taught him. What exactly would Frank do in this situation? His quiet guiding question has become, what's the best price for sometimes the best finds? As an homage to his buddy who taught him that. In all of life's ups and downs, arguments and laughs, Wolfe wants his fans and friends to know how much he values the individuals who stick by them. Looking back, he can't help but remember all the exciting excursions they went on together, and how each mile driven and antique found was a symbol of their lasting relationship. Wolfe thinks there's more to Frank's legacy than just dusty barns and antique treasures. It's a call to acknowledge and stand with people who are fighting their own battles. He wishes his audience will pause, think about their relationships, reach out, make amends, and remember to never omit a crucial phrase. Regardless of the obstacles we face in life, such as addiction, sickness, or the passage of time, the significance of love and forgiveness is shown by Wolfe's journey with Frank. Keeping Frank's legacy alive on American Pickers is about more than simply remembering him. It's also about celebrating the relationship and all it has taught Wolfe. Wolfe welcomes this new phase with the same tenacity, humor, and devotion that characterized their relationship, knowing that a piece of Frank will always be at his side, directing him. Remember the lasting influence of Frank Fritz on Mike Wolfe and American Pickers as we come to the conclusion of this touching journey through friendship, sorrow, and legacy. From their narrative, what do you draw the most important lesson? Feel free to leave your comments. In order to be the first to know when we upload new videos, please like, subscribe, and enable notifications. In loving remembrance of Frank, let us hold on to our loved ones and be there for each other no matter what.